Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Memo and I mainly draw things for a living. The Artist Starter Plan is a calendar I created to help you start learning how to draw if you're a complete beginner or get back into drawing if you haven't done it for a while. The plan goes from drawing simple lines and shapes in the first week, moving on to portrait, gesture, clothing, and full characters by the end of the 31 days. I recorded this as a series of live streams on Instagram, so unfortunately the format is portrait and there's some level of chit-chat throughout the videos. I hope you can still enjoy it, download the calendar for free, and start your own practice. It doesn't need to be the first day of the month to start, just pick day one and build up from there. Let's get started! Hey guys! I hope you had a good start to the week. If you're wondering why I'm wearing this really weird face filter, it's because my last 4 live sessions have been reported or somehow flagged as inappropriate content, like the type of content that you would pay for. And so I have decided to change the filter. Maybe that's something that has got something to do with it. I don't know. I am at my wit's ends because none of the videos that I've done obviously have any inappropriate content. And even when I did gesture drawing, the references that I used were clothed, like they weren't, undressed. So I don't know. If you guys have any ideas as to why my content has been flagged, please do write it in the comments. In the meantime, I'm gonna try different things to try and see if that was the issue. I don't know. I don't know what the issue could be because Instagram is being really weird about it, and also when you try and appeal the decision, it doesn't let you explain why. So I have no idea how they're gonna change their mind about it, but who knows? Anyway. We are on day 22 of the Artist Starter Plan, and today we are going to do some more gesture drawing because of the aforementioned problem with Instagram. Hey! Nice to have you here. I am happy that you can make the live stream finally. But yeah, because of the aforementioned problem, Instagram being obtuse and basically lowering my video engagement because they won't show it to people because they think it's inappropriate. I am going to not show you guys the references that I'm going to use to do gesture drawing. So I'm really sorry if that's something that that is something, hi to Mexico, that is something that will hinder your understanding of what I'm doing in gesture drawing. I'm really sorry about it. I don't mean to do it, but Instagram forced me to. I am going to now turn my camera and we're going to do some gesture drawing. Today we're actually introducing body shapes as well as the other 2 steps that we did on Friday. Today I'm using, for the references, I'm using a website called reference.sketchdaily.net. It's a website where you, like I used it before and I showed you guys, you can set up your reference images and they will show you, oh hang on, I need to take out the filter. Yeah, so they will show you images on a stopwatch, basically, on a timer, and that's really useful, especially if you want to do this in the morning as a sort of warm-up to your drawing session, or as a warm-up to a drawing session at any time of the day. That is really useful. So this is image number 1. I always start with the face, then do the line of action, then the shoulders and hips. There is a torso portion here. Then do basic shapes. And as you can see, when I do the basic shapes, I don't draw the limbs, I just use really spaghetti legs basically. And then at this point, this is what we did last time, and now I'm going to take this image And usually what I do is that I lower the opacity a little bit, and maybe even with a different color, I will start adding some actual anatomy and like details. And as I said, like, the aim for gesture drawing is usually to be as fast as possible so that you can, you know, train your hand, train your hand-eye connection, and basically just improve your speed overall. Losing your hand at the start of a practice session. So it's really like not a big deal if you get stuff wrong, because that's not the... I'm gonna go out of my way of actually draw clothes on top of the on top of these images, even though that was something that I plan to do tomorrow, because I don't want Instagram to take the fact that the characters are without clothes, even though I didn't plan to make it, you know, seductive. But apparently art is censored everywhere, and we can't show any, like, even if the characters aren't sexualized, like, still you can't show them without clothes. So there you go. This is how I would add basic anatomy. Today I'm gonna try and keep the anatomy as sort of, as close to realism as possible. I mean, considering that my style isn't realistic, so I'm not going to, you know, like, I'm still going to be slightly cartoony, because that is, you know, that's just how my style works. But I am going to try and stay more towards the realism of the reference that I'm watching. I'm sorry, like, I'm not able to talk as much when I do gesture drawing, because it actually takes quite a lot of concentration to just get, you know, like, the force of the gesture and the general positions and like relative position straight. So it's actually, I'm sorry, like, I'm not able to talk as much as I usually do. But if you guys want to ask me questions, I'll do my best to look in the comment section and yeah, and answer. And I hope that you enjoy like a more quiet session tonight. Well, this guy is a guy, so I think I can draw him butt-chested, because obviously Instagram only has issues when women are not clothed, so that's fine. Like, the nice thing about gesture drawing is that you can, like, yesterday I was saying, like last time I was saying how fingers and hands aren't useful to gesture drawing, but actually the the session that I was looking at, action. Okay, the session that I was looking at on sketchdaily suddenly reloaded, so I had to make it start again. Okay, but yeah, basically, what was I saying? I can't remember anymore. Yeah, no, I can't remember. Can someone like remind me like what I was saying before having to restart the session? That will be really useful. Oh yeah, no, I remember now. So I was saying before how drawing hands isn't useful, like isn't necessary for to actually express the strength of the pose. But this is like true, but not entirely true. Like the hand here is nice because it gives kind of like an escape to a more graceful pose. So hands and feet to a lesser extent can still be very useful, especially like for like dancing poses and stuff like that, because they help sort of like coming out of the pose that you're doing. They help making it more graceful. And like, especially for feet, for example, you don't have to do all the fingers, but you could do just like the toe, and then like the rest is just like a kind of like a blur. It's fine. Like nobody cares about other, you know, fingers that are not toes. But yeah. And to present at the end of your session of, you know, at the end of your just your drawing session, you can just present all of your images in one page. That usually looks cute, and you can actually use it as a post on social media as well. Okay. New image. This is hard because it's actually quite static. Like, I actually find static images a lot more difficult than very dynamic images. One thing that you can do as well to make sure that you're sort of respecting the proportions of your reference picture is that you can use the block method, it's called. Basically, you can cross-reference your image and the reference image and look for negative space. What is negative space? Negative space is basically the space where there isn't like the body. You know what I mean? Like, I'll show you now what I mean, because it's easier to show than actually trying to explain it. So for example, here, this lady is wearing kind of like a sash or something like that. Like this. And so, for example, if I wanted to cross-reference that I'm drawing the sash in the correct place, I could look for this angle, like the angle of the sash and the arm. And then you can take this triangle and cross-reference it with the angle that will be shown in your reference picture. And if the angle is the same, then it means that you're actually roughly keeping the correct proportions. If, of course, keeping realistic proportion is something that interests you, because, you know, it doesn't need to be. You can also use photo references for, and, you know, and draw still in a very stylistically, like stylized way. It's not a problem. Like, it's not something that I think using references is useful whatever style of drawing you have. So you don't need to stick to realism to use references, or similarly, like, don't think that just because you're a more cartoony sort of artist, you don't need references, because references are literally what helps you make your characters more believable, even if you're, if you're drawing stuff South Park style, it's still useful. I'm really sorry, like I'm having to draw these very detailed clouds just because, again, like I'm trying to escape these like banning, but it's annoying because this is something that I plan to do in the next step in this program, basically. There you go. Okay, this is done. So I'm probably gonna be able to do only 5 of these images instead of 10, because obviously drawing clothes means that it takes a lot more time to do it. And I wanted to, I didn't want to draw clothes in this session because it's interesting to look at bodies without clothes on, even if you're not actually drawing the body itself, like anatomically speaking. You can sorry, I'm like running through these reference pictures because I've actually seen all of them before. That's the problem with sketchdaily. I think that as a website, it's really nice to use like for a few times, but then all the images become obviously like what you've used before, and so it becomes kind of boring. But yeah, what I meant to say is that I can't remember. Sorry. Yeah, that you don't need to not. Oh, I can't remember. Sorry, I'm very distracted today. I think it's because of this little banning thing. Like, it really, I mean, not upset, but like it really annoyed me. So yeah. Anyway. This is like belly dancing image, the one that I am replicating. But yeah, I think like it's really good to be able to draw gesture drawing on a digital platform, because it allows you to use, as I just used, basically, it allows you to use the scaling tools, and that is really useful. I mean, I still recommend doing it in using your like a normal sketchbook, not a digital one, because it does, like, it makes it a lot more it actually helps with speed and making lines that you're not too subconscious about, basically. And yeah, I used to use Croquis Cafe a lot, especially when I started out with gesture drawing. I used to follow their channel on YouTube, and they have some really, really great material. I think they moved to not YouTube, but Vimeo or something. I don't know, I could be wrong. But if you want to use basically videos instead of photos for your practice, which is interesting because it actually, well, I mean, it's more realistic, as in when you do gesture drawing, it's usually done with a live model that, I mean, they're trying to stay as still as possible, but obviously they're still going to move a tiny bit. So it's really interesting to use video because it's a little bit more realistic, you know, as to what would happen in real life than using photos. And this is the last image. Sorry, again, I'm trying to like look for a reference that I haven't seen before, but it's really hard. Also one that is like a little bit more interesting and without props, which is hard apparently. Whatever, okay, I'm gonna choose this one even though it's got a prop. It's got like a bow, an arrow. I'm really gonna sketch like real fast the bow and arrow. I don't mean to do props today. This is what I mean, like I didn't mean to do neither clothes nor props. Yeah, they use Vimeo now. Thank you for confirming that. Because if you, again, like if you look at bodies without clothes and then, you know, it's like it's really useful because then you can clothe them and not necessarily with the clothes of the reference, which is what I wanted to show you guys by doing some unclothed one first and then move to clothed ones. But apparently I can't. Thank you, Instagram. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. Also, tomorrow I wanted to, like, I'm still gonna do more referencing, like more gesture drawing from reference, and I want to I can't remember what I wanted to say. I'm sorry again. I'm really bad at like talking when I'm doing gesture drawing, just because, you know, if I want to do it fast, I need to actually pay attention to what I'm doing. But yeah, if you've been following along and you are still doing the challenge, well done you guys. And I'm really proud of you. And I really enjoy looking at your submissions and updates on your journey. It's really interesting for me. And also, I feel really proud of you guys. So yeah, keep tagging me and keep uploading your work. I always look at it and always enjoy it. And I've been thinking about what to do in February. And I mean, definitely I'm not gonna do a live every day because that's just crazy and really intense. But I really like doing lives actually. This is something that I kind of knew before, and I'm really happy that I kept it up. And I'm really happy that I'm managing to actually, finish this challenge. I think it's the first time that I will probably finish a challenge like this one. So I was thinking maybe do a live maybe a couple of times a week or once a week, and I'm still gonna choose, I still have to choose the subject, but I would like it to be somewhat educational still. So yeah, if you guys want to basically give me your opinion in the comments as to what would be more useful for you guys to have a live session about in February. That would be super useful and super cool. Thank you. So I'm trying to like fit these 5 poses in a way that makes sense. Okay, so maybe she goes here. And she can go here and become a little bit bigger. There you go. So then you just have to fit all your poses in one cute page, and that will serve you as a post on Instagram as well. Of course, do not draw your characters, not even without clothes, but just like as basic mannequins, because Instagram might decide randomly that it means that you are providing inappropriate content. So yeah, I am salty about this, I know, sorry, but I am. Anyway, thank you for sticking with me. Today took a little bit longer, like 25 minutes probably. I did these 5 poses with body anatomy, trying to stick to realism as much as possible. Oh yeah, that's the thing that I want to say. Tomorrow I'm gonna push the shapes a little bit more and go more towards cartoony, basically. Still, there's gonna be clothes on top of the characters, which is annoying, but yeah. There you go. What can you do about it? And yeah, and then we're gonna move on to outfit drawing and creation. So I hope you've enjoyed this session, and I look forward to seeing your art. And I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Bye.